afternoon. Welcome to the first ads webinar in 2024. So today there will be Hui Qi and myself. Today I'm sure you all know Hui Qi already, as well as myself. If you have not, just a quick introduction. I'm from the seller education team, and Hui Qi is from the Amazon Ads team. So we will be here to share with you how you can ace your first SP campaign. So SP stands for sponsored product. Hui Qi later will share with you a lot more what exactly it is. And then, of course, to create our first sponsored product campaign, it's always good to first optimize your listing first, which is what I'll be going through in the very first part of this webinar. So if you have any question, let us know in the question box there. All right, for those who joined this last session of this month, right, we have upcoming February session again. So Hui Qi will also be in the February session as well to share even more regarding brand owners. So if you are somebody who are looking to be a brand owner or already a brand owner, and then do join the session where Hui Qi will go through how to use sponsored brands, sponsored display, and also the Amazon store to grow your store even further. Right, so there's a QR code here. Now we change to a single QR code so you don't have to scan too many times. So in this QR code, there will be a list of resources available for you. You can sign up, watch playback, etc. And also we have a new unofficial seller education broadcast channel. So if you want to stay in touch of what are the educational contents and webinars available, do join the channel and subscribe to it. If not, there are other seller communities available as well from Facebook, Telegram, that you can also tap into the links to join. Okay, a short introduction of the team I'm in because it's pretty new, so I hope that I can let everyone know. Seller Education is a team that provides free education and training through a variety of learning programs. So there are Seller University, where you're probably more aware of. You can access it through Seller Central under the Learn Navigation tab. So there is like a short videos and also resources available for you to keep track of your learning progress in Seller University. And then there's another section, or rather another program like the live webinar, the one you're watching right now, for sellers like you who want to be able to interact with the presenter like us. You can attend this, and then we have about 6 sessions every month to help to address any questions that you have through the live Q&A section. Okay, so the session that you're attending now will be recorded and it will be uploaded to our official YouTube playlist on YouTube. So don't worry if you miss out anything. You can go watch the recording or you can pause as well. So there's a tons of recording, not just the webinar playback. There's also a whole suite of Amazon Ads resources and videos over there that you can actually watch and upgrade yourself in terms of your understanding of Amazon Ads. So if you have a question, put it on the question box on your right hand side. So information as accurate as of today, so always refer to the online resources if you were to watch the recording a few months down the road in Seller University or even Seller Central Help or even Seller Amazon Ads Help page. All right, some important notice to have a quick read. Okay, so this is what I'll be covering for the first maybe about 10+ minutes. All right, listing completeness, listing copy optimization, and also image optimization. So again, to recap, why is it important? So before you even want to spend money to invest on running sponsored ads for your listing, you might want to first ensure that your listing is in a way completed. So I will go through what it means and to basically make sure that your listing is already optimized so that whatever ads you're going to run will be more effective because you need to go hand in hand. You can't be spending a lot on ads, but your listing is not actually done up correctly. So this is something that I want to ensure that all of you know. All right, so first part is listing completeness. Now there are 8 components of what we call a complete listing. So these are the 8 components here: title, product image, bullet point, description, etc. You probably know, I won't go into detail. So I'll touch on each of this part to tell you what is it about. So this is an example of a listing that you can see. Right now, the first one is usually the product title. As a customer yourself, you probably notice this when you first go for any online shopping. You will first see the product title. right? So this is very important to help your customers to know what they're buying. So it will help them make an informed purchase decision faster if you can do a good product title. All right. So basically, the product title will ideally contain your brand name plus your product name and also some of the product features that you want to focus on. Right, next is the quality of the images, right? Especially your main image, that is the first image that your customer will see when they do any searches on the Amazon.com. So make sure your main image is of a great high definition quality that allows your customers to actually zoom in to see the product clearly, because there's no way for them to touch it. So it's best you will have to provide a very good picture for them to really know how the product looks like or how it can be used. Right, the next part is regarding the bullet points. So ideally, as a best practice, you should put at least about 4 to 5 bullet points to highlight the important or the special information about the product you're selling. Right, so buyer definitely rely on the bullet point to understand your product special characteristics. All right, so try to use all the 5 points to communicate your product, important product features, etc. So well-written bullet points will definitely help to improve more sales and in terms of the conversion. Right, next thing is the brand name. So if you have a brand, meaning that your brand name is actually enrolled under Amazon Brand Registry, all right, so make sure you put this during your listing. If not, your listing will appear as generic. All right, so having a brand name really helps to enhance your customer trust and loyalty and increase the repurchase rate as well. Okay, the next part, as you go along down the typical listing, right, you will see the product description. Right, this is the part where you go into a little more greater into detail than what you already shared under the bullet point. All right, so this description should help to supplement the bullet points. You know, it's not just to add on more repetitive details, but to supplement the bullet points and mention things that is not mentioned in the bullet points. All right. So this is more like writing a copy, a product copy. All right, so a well-written product description will help your customers imagine how it would be like to use the product. All right, so you try to put yourself in your customer's shoes. You know, what do they want to know, feel, touch, or think about the product that you're selling? So you'll be able to give them this kind of description and context for them to make a better purchasing decision for your product. All right, next one is A+ content. So this is not available for everyone. However, if you have a trademark and you're enrolled into Amazon Brand Registry, you'll be able to unlock this tool. All right, this is what we call A+ content. It is a more, it's a better feature that you can help to enhance the effectiveness of your product promotion through a combination of images and text. All right, so you can combine using the different tiles. You know, once you have access, you can actually use the different tiles, A+ content tiles, to actually build up your page to create a more appealing product listing page. All right, to showcase your product even better than the normal listing. Okay, the next one is the search term. Right, this is something you will be required to put during your listing as well. So you put in the typical search terms, or what are the terms that you think your customers will be searching for. Right, so do note that this is important because the search term will be able to help create more visibility for your product. So make sure putting something that you know that your customers will search. There are also some tools that can help you find what are the typical search terms for your products. And I think in the Amazon Ads Campaign Manager inside, there are some features that allow you to look at the search terms too. You can use that as well to optimize it. Okay, last but not least, the browse node thing that you see here. So basically, all right, this is something I would say more like a filtering thing. So during the listing phase, there's a lot of fields that you can put in. So try to put in as much of those optional fields as possible, because that may end up in like a filtering. You know, when people are searching for your product, they will be able to search based on the materials or based on the styles or the sizing, etc. All right, so this table is what we call the listing completeness score, right? This is not going to see, you're not going to see it anywhere in Seller Central. This is more for your own self evaluation guidelines. So what we kind of give a score for each attribute that you use. All right, so ideally we should all target to have a completeness grade of A, so meaning that the score is around 80 to 100. So all the core attributes you have already used it. All right, so over here the core attributes are the one that I mentioned earlier on. Right, now again, using is one thing, to use it correctly is another thing. So make sure you use all the attribute correctly, like putting in the right product description, right product bullet point, etc. So we do see internally in terms of our data that those with a complete listing of 8 gray actually get a better order volume compared to listing that has a grade B to E. All right, so there is a negative impact if you are having those core listing elements not used properly. All right, next part is regarding the copy optimization. So basically the text that you put into your listing, these are the things that you can further improve. All right, so you can start refining your selling points. All right, this is point one. All right, so look at the existing point that you already have. Take into context of the market that you are actually selling into to get a better sense of how you should phrase your listing. Now, the other part is using your A+ content template, the tiles I was referring to. All right, the next tool I want to share is the listing quality dashboard that you can use. A lot of sellers may not know there is this dashboard. All right, you can go into the manage all inventory and on top you select your listing quality dashboards. Right, this actually helps to see quickly, which are the listing that you can further optimize by proposing what are the additional attributes that you can use for your different listing. All right, so try to go through all these recommendations and fix everything so that you will have a better listing completeness in that sense. All right, so this is what it was trying to tell you. All right, it will help you identify and fix your listing issues. Right, this will actually improve your discoverability as well, and also try to check back at least about once a week, because the system will take about a week to identify what is the missing product attributes that you should have on your product. So check in frequently if you can. Right, the next point is regarding how you can make good use of the local culture and mindset. Right, so I touched upon previously already, so I won't take in too much. So this basically give you an idea, if you're selling in North America, what you should be aware of. If you're selling into, for example, like a Japan market, what is the thing they are more concerned of? These are the example, you can rewatch it. All right, the next point is creating scenarios that help your seller envision, how they use it. All right, for example, like these, you can mention things like for this product, it's a lightweight dog toys, something along the line. You don't have to be too restrictive to just saying that this is the product itself, but you can add on some of these keywords, double as a pet, food, water bowl, that kind of things in your product bullets point. Okay, some key pointers here. Okay, keep it simple and compact. Don't power up too many keywords. All right. Okay, I won't touch on too much on that. The next thing to share is there are some other things that you can further optimize. All right, try to include important keywords in your title and search terms. All right, so try not to repeat your keywords that is already in the title or bullet points. Okay, so these are some of the explanation of why it is important to use this element. Right, so actually I've explained in the 8 elements already. So this is just a recap on how important it is, or why do you need to optimize the copy in these elements. All right, the next one I want to share is you can actually put in some popular spring or summer. So this is more to tell you in terms of seasonality, because in Singapore usually there's only one season. So we may not be aware, but this is to let you know that the country you're going to sell on, they may have like different seasons. So you may want to take into consideration how you can use this to your advantage. For some example, so if you are selling in the fashion category, some of the things you can mention that is regards to the season is like UV protection, etc. Okay, I hope that gives you an idea on how else can you optimize your product listing further. Right, the last part is regarding the listing images. Right. So again, you know that the main image has to be pretty standard, right? You need to have a white background, etc. But for the other alternative images, you can actually be a lot more creative, right? Just to share a few over here. Right, for example, like the household product, your alternative images, you can actually put in like, you know, the scenes like this to showcase how your product will look like in a different setting or different environment. So for consumer electronic, I'm sure everyone is familiar as well. Or selling, for example, like adapter, it can be shown how the adapter can be used in a different like home or office setup. So next one is also again in regards to the seasonality, where different seasons, you know, you can showcase the product being used in the different seasons as well. Okay, so I further indicate here that this should not be used for a main image. As I mentioned, the main image only can have a white background. Only your alternate image that you can optimize it further by adding all these situational environments to help your seller imagine, you know, when they can use your product. Okay, I'll just briefly run through. They are the same, but the example is to give you an idea to help you kick started, you know, how you should be thinking about optimizing your images further. Okay, so even for A+ content, that portion where you can put an image header, you can also optimize it. Why this is an example, you know, you are not restricted to just the image. You can design your image such that there is also some text to further showcase your product as well. All right, and then the second most popular one is a comparison chart that you can use. All right, and these are the different features, but these are only available for brand owners, for sellers who are enrolled under Amazon Brand Registry. All right, then you can use all these A+ content templates with these images together to make your product listing even more appealing. All right, these are the summary. I won't go through too much on these. Last but not least, right, just to share again, so we do have some other upcoming webinar. You can scan the QR code to register. And then I think the next session, I'll pass it over to Hui Qi. We'll be sharing sponsored product. What is it about and how you should start to ace your first product, some sponsored ads campaign.
So thank you everyone for joining our call today. As Jin Liang mentioned earlier, it's very important to set up your listing correctly before we actually proceed to advertising. So you know, one of the top questions a lot of sellers, even very new sellers to Amazon, ask me is, you know, is my ACoS very high? You know, why do I not get, you know, orders, which is basically why do I not get conversion? Most of the time when you don't get orders, the issue actually really lies with your listing as well. So it's important for you to beef up your listing fully with right A+ content, right images, supplementary images, very high resolution hero images before you start running advertising. Otherwise, you're going to incur a lot of advertising costs with very little results. So you know, these two goes hand in hand. Definitely. So we'll just jump straight into, getting started with some of the advertising solutions that are available on Amazon. So what you want to learn today is, basically what are some of the sponsored ad type to run as a new seller, and then I'll go through a quick step-by-step walkthrough of our sponsored products, and then I'll leave some time for Q&A. So again, how can what we call self-service ad solutions help you reach customers? So firstly, it's very important to note that Amazon ads actually gives you a lot of flexibility to self-service the ads on your own. So you are able to have full control over when to control your budget. How much bids to bid for your ads. It's fully self-service. We are here to help you guide you in terms of some of the best practices for ads, but it will be a self-service solution. And the goal of advertising, what is the goal, right? Really, it's to help you reach new customers, right? You want to drive what we call traffic, or basically customers to your page, to your products, to your brand store. So, just to kind of really start off the session, we see that almost 74% of Amazon customers, they discover new brands and listings through Amazon. And almost half of the customers prefer Amazon as the primary way to buy products from brands that they've never heard of before. So what this means is that, it's good news for our Singapore sellers or people watching this webinar. People on Amazon are very open to new brands and they are willing to purchase new brands. You just need to be able to reach them and convince them to buy. So again, a lot of our sellers, they allow and they enable sponsored ads to basically really help you drive awareness and demand for your products. And it's a great cycle of discovery, right? So basically what ads does is that it helps people to discover your new brand, your new product. Basically we can help drive traffic, meaning we increase the views to your product detail pages, and then subsequently we try to convince them to buy with your amazing A+ content, your beautiful videos available on your product detail page to help you increase your sales. And from there, once you get sales, you should try to incentivize or encourage people to leave ratings and reviews. And when you actually increase your ratings and reviews, it actually helps to boost your overall position. It helps to boost your credibility, and it does help with your ranking, for example, in terms of helping you to get discovered again by new customers, and it leads to a positive cycle of discovery for your brand and your products. So Amazon ads, the goal is really to help you drive your brand at every stage of what we call the funnel. So firstly, you want to cast a very, very big net, which we will often call driving awareness, help you reach relevant audiences for your Amazon shoppers who are exposed to your ads. And then the ads will help you support your purchase intent by telling what is your brand story, what is your product story, are you selling something, for example, that is sustainable. So it helps to drive consideration and get people to add your product to their cart and consider your brand. And then subsequently, you want to be there consistently when shoppers are ready to buy. For example, sales season, you're running a great Prime exclusive deal. It's Prime Day. You want to really be present when consumers are ready to click buy now. So that is what we can again leverage Amazon ads basically to encourage people to make that final leap, that final purchase. So essentially, ways that our self-service advertising solutions can help will be essentially, we will want to basically adopt a full funnel ad solution. So instead of, just focusing on one ad product, again, there are multiple different touch points when consumers search, browse, do a bit of digging before they actually buy the product. So you want to be present at every touch point on and off Amazon. I'll touch into some of the brand building opportunities that you can adopt on Amazon, as well as some of the measurement solutions in the subsequent webinars. So what Amazon Ads gives you is a full funnel solution. It gives you a chance to tell your brand story, what makes you stand out apart from your competitors, and it gives you full control in terms of how to measure, how to track your performance, and again, full control in terms of how to increase, reduce, adjust your bids, your budgets, as well as your actions on Amazon Ads. So as a quick recap, what are some of the available solutions on Amazon? So we have paid ads, and we also have free brand solutions. So for paid ads, we have three main ones, which is sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. And then subsequently, we have what we call free brand solutions, which come to you at no charge. So you should already be considering to use this, which is stores, posts, as well as the follow button. So essentially, this is again what we want to kind of consider when it comes to advertising on Amazon. So firstly, we'll touch on the paid advertising solutions. So these, as I mentioned again, are self-service solutions. You will want to access your Amazon advertising console and essentially log into your ads console and kickstart your campaigns from there. So where do you start? For most new sellers, you might be confused. There are so many different type of Amazon ad products. Which one should I start with? So for many sellers, the very first and also the most used ad format will be sponsored products. So what is sponsored products? Essentially, it is a cost per click solution. You basically target people via relevant keywords as well as products to help boost the visibility of individual products. So you'll see on the search results page, products with the tag sponsored, and that is where sponsored products come from. The ads appear in the shopping results page. On product detail page, as you'll see here, in the carousel below your product detail page, and it helps you to drive consideration as well as sales. So this is essentially, what we call the bread and butter of Amazon advertising, right? You basically boost individual single products that you are selling. It can be your new product, it can be your best-selling product, your hero product. Whatever it is, you can select the product and target via relevant keywords. So here we're selling an espresso machine. You can target via literally the keyword espresso machine, coffee machine, or you can even choose to target competitor products, a big competitor name, basically to help increase the visibility of you as a new brand and new product. Next, we have sponsored brands. So sponsored brands is a significantly different product. So basically what it is that it's a customizable cost per click ad solution. So it features very rich creatives. So you'll see in this example here, right at the top of the search results page, it is essentially the sponsored brand placement. So you will appear right at the top. Here there are a few different formats for you to adopt under sponsored brands. So as I mentioned, it is a brand building solution. You will want to engage and help customers via your branding. So what do I mean by that? Firstly, you can direct people towards your store. So it's an Amazon storefront, what we call Amazon sponsored brands store spotlight format. So you can actually direct people straight to your store. The other format is that you can actually even feature a product collection to feature. So you have probably a suite or a portfolio of ASINs or products that you're trying to sell. You can select your 3 products. Again, it can be your top 3 selling, best selling products. It could be your new launch, your new product launch, or it can even be a product that you're trying to clear inventory for. But as long as you choose 3 products, that sponsored brands product collection, essentially you are driving people directly to these 3 product collections. And the best thing about sponsored brands that helps it stand out from sponsored products as well is that you are able to upload a custom creative, meaning that beautiful picture that you shot and uploaded on Instagram. Why only keep it to Instagram? You can actually repurpose it and use it in sponsored brands to help even capture eyeballs on the Amazon search results page. We also have sponsored brands video. So essentially, you might be creating a small advertisement in a video format. You can actually upload it onto Amazon and basically run a sponsored brand video. Again, it's very interactive. It's going to help you capture eyeballs when people are scrolling on the search results page when they search for a particular product. So sponsored brands is actually a very interesting, very suitable for brand building. It helps you leverage very beautiful custom creatives, again, to help you be a bit more interactive with capturing impressions and helping people to drive consideration towards your brand. Next, we have sponsored display. So essentially, what sponsored display is automatically generated display ad that showcases your product on and off Amazon. So you will see that across certain placements as shown in the video, on the left hand side, on the bottom side of the search results page, on product detail pages, you will see that there are certain placements on the right hand side, the left hand side, at the bottom, different display solutions as highlighted here to help you drive awareness, consideration, and conversion on the Amazon side. It offers both product, contextual, as well as audience-based targeting to help you reach your goal. So the great thing about sponsored display is that it can, again, you can use images, products, as well as even video to appear on all these placements. What helps it to stand out from sponsored product as well as sponsored brand? Firstly is how you are charged. So sponsored display is driven by impressions. So you are charged not based on clicks, but based on impressions. Secondly, how it's different is that it not only appears on Amazon, it also appears off Amazon. So your ad could appear to someone that is browsing, for example, a news article. They could be browsing a BuzzFeed article, for example, and they could see your product appearing off Amazon as well. And lastly, apart from keyword targeting and product targeting, sponsored display offers a whole different set of targeting as well. So you can even target Amazon audiences, which, for example, can be, new homeowners. It can be, men of a certain age, women of a certain age, women who love beauty products. So those are audience-based targeting. We also have what we call contextual targeting under sponsored display, which is allows you to do remarketing. Essentially, you can retarget people who have viewed your ad or have even purchased your product. So again, this is another way for you to leverage our ad. Even after they have made the purchase, you can remind someone to buy your product again. So that's the flexibility of sponsored display. And then subsequently, we do have expanded solutions from our sponsored ads, ad products. So we have Amazon DSP, which you can consider as an extension of sponsored display. So sponsored display, we notice, it is available on and off Amazon. But for example, if you want to extend your ad campaign even further beyond Amazon and drive mass reach and mass awareness with exclusive Amazon audience segments, you can try Amazon DSP. So basically, Amazon DSP allows you access into almost 300 million customers across the different Amazon ads channels. So we have Twitch, we have Fire TV, we have Prime Video. So basically, you will be extending your display advertising beyond Amazon to such channels. And we can target people based on their interests, their demographics, their purchase behavior, and engage with relevant audience with your ads, and eventually lead them back into your Amazon detail page or even onto your own website. So that is Amazon DSP. It's an expanded display solutions. Again, you can leverage what we call the Amazon channels such as Twitch, Alexa, Prime Video, Fire TV. So that's Amazon DSP. And then beyond the paid services, we do have free self-service solutions as well. So these are free. So if you haven't already, you should definitely start trying them. So firstly, we have stores. So firstly, we have stores. So essentially, this is the Amazon storefront, and my colleague Jin Liang earlier runs, different webinars in terms of, the best practices on how to set up a beautiful store, but it goes hand in hand with sponsored brands. Secondly, we also have posts, and together with posts is just a very simple button called brand follow. So essentially, it functions as almost like Instagram for your Amazon, housed within the Amazon app. So it's an image browsing experience. You can upload your custom creative and link it directly to your product detail page, and encourage people to follow your brand so that they essentially keep up with your new product launches. You are able to interact and engage with your customers. And subsequently, we also have Amazon Live, which is a live shopping experience. And last but not least, we have Amazon Attribution, which we will cover in subsequent webinars. But essentially, it is a tracking tool for your off-Amazon marketing activities. Meaning, if you are running an Instagram campaign, you're running a TikTok campaign, but you want to track the effectiveness of your campaigns leading back to your Amazon product detail page, you can do that via Amazon Attribution as well. So these are some of the free self-service solutions. Again, how to connect the dots, right? A full funnel solution. So we encourage sellers, as you become more experienced, to adopt the full funnel of Amazon ad solutions. So if you are a brand owner, you will be able to adopt again sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored display. And then in terms of brand building opportunities, right? Sponsored brand is a great way for you to tell your brand story, and again direct them to your store, which again, you can upload a beautiful video talking about your brand's background. You can upload rich custom creatives. You want to leverage posts as well as brand follows. And again, Amazon ads allow you to fully measure your different advertising activities. So our measurement solutions, we offer very robust campaign reporting, very clear store insights. What widgets are working on your stores? What improvements have you made to help you drive click-throughs? These are all measurable. You will be able to see also your post engagement metrics. And as I mentioned earlier, we even allow you, help you to track of Amazon marketing activities via Amazon Attribution, so that basically you can optimize your ad spend across advertising journey. So after this, I will quickly start into a quick start into Amazon advertising, specifically setting up our first sponsored product, automatic targeting campaign, right? And you can learn about the advertising console, which is where all advertising stuff happens, and quick tips for our sellers. So for today, we will cover and focus mainly on sponsored products, and in our next session, we will focus on sponsored brands and sponsored display. But essentially, sponsored products, is what we often consider a growth driver. So it basically is very much geared towards getting your orders in. So essentially, it's a conversion tool first and foremost. So we notice sellers see upwards of 40% increase in units ordered in the first year after launching a sponsored product campaign. It even helps you to drive consideration. So we see a 54% increase in glance views after launching the SP campaign, as well as definitely by adding A+ content to your product detail page, it can help to generate up to 93 times more unit sales as well for your products. So again, as we mentioned earlier, having A+ content, having a ready listing, and then complementing that with sponsored products is the key to again driving growth for your business. So we noticed again, 6 months after advertisers launch sponsored products, they see that sales attributed to the campaign on average account for 37 to 41% of their total sales. So really, it does help you to drive incremental traffic and incremental sales towards your products. And again, it's a highly efficient format. We just need to be able to operate it correctly via optimized listing, via how we do ads optimization. But again, sellers with sponsored products campaign that ran for 12 months continuously, they actually saw an average 11% higher return on ad spend compared to their ROAS in the first month. So over time, as you run your campaign over a longer period of time, you are able to see higher return on investment. So, for most sellers who don't really have a clue on how to run their very first ad campaign, so this is a general guideline for most of our sellers. Where do you start? First, start with a sponsored product automatic campaign. So automatic targeting is where you basically just let Amazon run with the algorithm and basically target based on their algorithm people who are again most likely to buy your product, and this is based on the listing quality as well as previous big data collected by Amazon. The goal here is, number one, you run sponsored products automatic targeting. Your goal is to expand and collect relevant keywords, right? You might be selling, for example, a coffee machine, but is coffee machine the only keyword that you can use? Can you collect more keywords? How do we reach different audiences that might eventually buy a coffee machine? You can do that via automatic targeting. And subsequently, once you've collected a list of effective keywords that are relevant to your product, helping you to drive impression, clicks, and sales, what we can then do is to create a second campaign, number 2 campaign, by taking a look at our reports as well as ad console performance. We can basically filter out what are some of our high performing keywords and product targets, right? Perhaps the keywords such as espresso machine, espresso coffee machine, instant coffee machine. These will be high performing keywords generating good impressions, good clicks, and good orders. And we can actually put that into a second manual targeting campaign where you can place more budget and be a bit more aggressive with these high performing keywords. So that's the general guidance. For the very first campaign you want to run, it will be an automatic targeting campaign that runs for 2 weeks. So again, just to quickly recap, what is a sponsored product campaign, right? It's a cost per click ASIN-based ad. We base it off keywords and product targeting. So basically, you are charged if someone clicks on your ads. So that's why it's cost per click advertising solution. You help promote the products you want to sell. So you are promoting individual ASINs or products that you're selling across highly visible placements such as top of search, such as on product detail page. So what you want to do is to select the products you want to advertise, and you want to be able to choose keywords or product attributes to target, or you can simply let Amazon do it automatically for you. But the great thing about sponsored product is that you can control how much you want to spend on your bid and as well as on your budget, and how you can measure your ad performance. So how do we again do the targeting, right? So there are 2 ways. There's auto targeting and there's manual targeting. So run automatic targeting first to expand your keywords, and then run a second manual targeting campaign after 2 weeks by pulling out the best performing keywords for you and do keyword or product targeting subsequently. So here are some of the placements where sponsored products appear. It will appear in top of search. So when you search, for example, over here is portable hard drive. So it will appear at top of search. It will appear on product detail pages in the carousel below. It can appear, again at bottom of search, as well as it's optimized for mobile and tablet as well. And again, where do you track your campaign performance, right? You can find this in advertising under Amazon Seller Central. This is where you campaigns again in terms of your sales. Oh, computer is hanging.
No worry. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, right, do let us know in the question box, okay?
Okay. Okay, so apologies, and we're back. So again, we can once again, click very quickly into how to create a campaign. So please feel free to pause here, screenshot, and then do step by step on your ads console. Firstly, what you want to do is to click create new campaign and select sponsored products. And then secondly, your next step will be to actually really name your campaign properly. You might want to name it, for example, Hui Qi Coffee Machine Auto Campaign. So at least you know and you are able to track subsequently what campaigns you are running. And for your automatic targeting campaign, we recommend you guys to put your start date and to put a no end date. So we actually discourage, or we don't encourage sellers to start and stop your campaigns all the time. You should actually continue running over a longer period of time, so that for automatic targeting, the Amazon system is able to continuously collect data, who is clicking on your ad, who they are targeting. You need to be able to give it a bit of time for 2 weeks to be able to run it properly. So we recommend setting no end date, but check back on your performance after 2 weeks, right? And what daily budget should we set? So many sellers always ask me what is the correct daily budget to set for your Amazon advertising campaign. So we actually recommend you to set around $10 to $20, or the equivalent in your local currency, but essentially 10 to 20 US dollars if you're selling in a US marketplace. This is to ensure that you get sufficient impressions, essentially for your budget. On average, cost per click in Amazon can vary quite significantly across categories, but we tend to notice, it stands somewhere around $1 per click. Of course, there is definitely fluctuations. We have seen lower, we have seen much higher categories within very competitive categories. So, for example, I've seen sellers setting $2 to $5 daily budget, and once you run out of budget, your campaigns basically pause for 24 hours. So essentially, if you're not getting sufficient impressions, it could mean that your daily budget is just not enough. So you might want to increase it slightly. For our automatic targeting campaign, we will want to select automatic targeting under the targeting tab. And then thirdly, we will want to select a bidding strategy. So for new sellers or for new product launches, we actually recommend you to select either fixed bids or down only. So we don't recommend you to select up and down. We only recommend up and down for hero ASINs and ideally towards the more manual targeting campaigns. So for automatic targeting, just as a recap, if you are launching a new product or you are just a new seller, select down only, meaning Amazon lowers your bid in real time when your ad is less likely to convert to a sale. So it's a very conservative bidding strategy, safer, less costly, or to select fixed bids. So essentially, you are only setting an exact fixed bid consistently, and Amazon will not change your bids based on likelihood of a sale. So essentially, that's the best practice for a new seller for a bidding strategy. In the future, once we have a bit more data, you are even able to adjust your bids according to placement. So for example, once you started advertising more, you notice that you want to target top of search more aggressively, or you actually notice that you're getting more clicks, more orders coming from top of search. You can actually adjust your bids by upwards of 900% in terms of increasing your bids for certain placements on Amazon. And fourth, you will want to set an ad group name. So this is a common question I get. So if you are, for example, selling socks, for example, but you have 5 different colored socks, right? You have red socks, blue socks, green socks, blah, blah, blah. You will want to put the same product, meaning all these socks that look the same, they're priced similarly, and their features are similar to each other into one ad group. However, for example, if you're selling socks, but you're also selling shoes, Socks and shoes are different categories. I would consider them significantly different categories with significantly different features and price points. So you will want to create a whole separate campaign for your shoes, and basically treat them as separate campaigns between your socks as well as your shoes. So that's the guideline. And then in terms of a suggested bid, right, we recommend to again adopt Amazon a suggested product. So again, as using the socks example, right, you will want to choose the product that Amazon, when you click the drop down, it says suggested product. Those are products that Amazon considers as your most optimized listing, most optimized products, and they are more likely to convert to a sale. So we recommend you to start with your suggested products in terms of advertising. And then number 6, it will be your bid. So how much to set your bid, right? Essentially, Amazon will, when you set up an automatic targeting campaign, Amazon will suggest to you a bid, what we call the set default bid option. If you see here, Amazon has suggested 50 cents, right, automatically. We actually recommend sellers to put 10 to 20% higher than the recommended bid amount to expand your placements. So that's our quick tip for you. And lastly, you'll also see a different section for negative as well as negative keyword and product targeting. So for new sellers, we actually do not recommend you to do negative targeting in the beginning because you simply have no data to, again, assume that the keyword is not going to drive traffic for you. So run the campaign as is for 2 weeks first with no negative targeting. And then subsequently, you want to pull a bit of your reports to see if there are any keywords that are very inefficient. So essentially, they don't drive sales, they generate a lot of clicks, but over time, you notice that there's very little to no sales coming from all these highly clicked keywords. Then you will want to do negative targeting because they are driving up your advertising costs and they're not converting to a sale. So in the beginning, don't need to do negative targeting, and then subsequently pull a report to find out inefficient keywords and then negative target those. That's our kind of quick start to Amazon automatic targeting. Again, the strategy here is that for automatic targeting, you will want to accumulate data for campaign optimization, expand and collect keywords. The quick tip here is to select all 4 matching types. I have met sellers who want to create 4 auto campaigns, 1 each for each individual matching type. I recommend sellers essentially to be able to supplement that with enough bids before you want to do that. Otherwise, just create 1 simple automatic campaign and select all 4 matching types. Secondly, you want to set up an appropriate daily budget. So recommended a minimum of 10 to 20 US dollars for your advertising campaigns and no lower than that. Otherwise, you're not going to get much data, not much impressions on your campaigns. Number 3, we recommend you to put no end date to the campaign for better performance to allow the Amazon algorithm to run with enough time. And 4th, you will want to start your campaign with a suggested ASIN, the suggested product suggested by Amazon, because it is what Amazon considers to be your most optimized listing. And then last but not least, how to group the products together. You will want to put a combination of products that belong in the same category, same feature, similar price in the same ad group. So as I mentioned, the different colors of socks in 1 ad group, and then a different type of shoes in a whole separate campaign. So that is our best practice for sponsored product automatic targeting. Yes, and that brings us to the end of essentially our Amazon Advertising 101. Do let us know if you have any questions in the chat box, and I will do my best to answer them.
Maybe from my own understanding, since I think maybe I type in a question, right? So would it have any impact, let's say, if for example, I run ads, if I stop and start again and stop and start again? Because sometimes maybe I think I may not be optimize my listing yet, so I don't want to keep spending money there. I stop it first, then I go and optimize my listing. I pause it and I resume again. Would there be any impact in terms of how Amazon sees this backend?
So I think when to actually stop your campaign. So certain situations are like it's best for you to start winding down your bids or your budgets. So especially in situations of out of stock, meaning that you see that you are running very low on stock and you are inbounding a shipment but it's not going to reach in time, you will want to pause your ads in those situations because it will affect your listing performance, your ranking on the Amazon search results page. So for those situations when you're going out of stock, I recommend you to stop advertising because it's annoying, right? Can you imagine you go on Amazon and then you click on the ad, you're ready to buy and it's out of stock. So firstly, you will be charged for that click. And then secondly, it's not going to convert to an order when you are out of stock. So again, it's a waste of advertising spend for you, and it is going to affect your performance. So for those situations, we recommend you to stop your advertising campaign. But if you are just really trying to optimize your listing, we actually don't recommend you to stop the campaign. You can lower your bids. Essentially how you are bidding now. Maybe just now as we saw, we put 60 cents bid, for example, on our ad campaign. You can reduce the bid slightly so that essentially you are being slightly less competitive, but you don't want it to stop the algorithm altogether, especially if it's an automatic targeting. You can reduce your budget, you can reduce your bid as you are optimizing your listing. Preferably, you should have done that earlier, and it's a continual work in process, but we don't recommend starting and stopping as it will affect, your ad performance overall.
Got it. Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, let's see. We have more questions. If not, right, I think we can end the question up. Maybe before that, since most seller who might be watching or attending this session will be the seller who are very new or may not have run any sponsored ads before. So, I'm just wondering, is there any advice you want to give to this, group of sellers who are first starting out? What should they be aware of, besides what we mentioned earlier on, like optimize the listing, etc.
So I think definitely we encourage sellers to definitely as I mentioned, it's a bit repetitive, right? But I think before just quickly jumping into advertising, we recommend sellers to prepare a little bit in terms of your listing first. So how you can do that, even just running your product listing across with friends and families to check whether if there's any feedback in terms of the quality of your listing image, your A+ content, does it make sense? Secondly, I think it will definitely also be that first try automatic targeting. I think online, when we search very quickly for how to set up the first campaigns, I think a lot of online gurus recommend you start with keyword targeting immediately, and for some reason always very specifically do exact match keyword targeting, which of course is very relevant, right? You're selling for example, a coffee machine and you're immediately targeting coffee machine, right? Of course it's highly relevant. You're targeting directly the people that you want, but the goal of running advertising is also to expand to new to brand audiences, right? People who have never been exposed to your brand. And at the beginning phase, you want to collect a list of keywords, not just one or two keywords that are relevant to you. What automatic targeting does is that essentially it gives you a list of potential products, for example, competitor products that might be already getting very high traffic, and you can steal some traffic from such big competitors. Secondly, it allows you to explore, substitute kind of products or complementary products. Maybe people who are browsing for coffee capsules are also looking for a coffee machine. And coffee capsules could be another potential keyword you target. right? So basically the goal of automatic targeting is to help you expand to a list of keywords. Very often time, the one or two keywords that you are comfortable with and you think is an exact match for your product can also be quite expensive. So we are also searching, or we are on the lookout for longer tail keywords that might be less costly but still highly effective for you. So that's another goal of our automatic targeting campaign. We often see that many top sellers, even here in Singapore, they maintain an automatic campaign across the entire advertising journey, while they, of course, set up subsequent manual targeting campaigns. So that is one. And then the second step beyond this is definitely, don't just stop there. We encourage sellers to try sponsored brands and sponsored display for a range of advertising strategies. So you can do aggressive advertising strategy or defensive advertising strategy. And of course, if you don't want to try paid ad solutions, then of course try your free branding solutions, right? Create a nice store, try Amazon posts to see if it works for you. And that's where, again, you can engage with customers and again, try to drive traffic towards your products as well. So that's my quick tips for our sellers.
All right, thank you, Hui Qi. Thanks for sharing so much. So for those of you who are ready to, get those brand building feature that what Hui Qi mentioned, you can join one of our brand registry related webinar. You can watch it. So you need to get yourself enrolled into Amazon Brand Registry. You can use all these like post, store, etc. So I'm sharing the screen right now. It's the next session that we have with Hui Qi is regarding brand owner, how you can use sponsored brands, sponsored display. So if you are ready to embark on your brand owner journey, do remember to sign up. And of course, there's other webinar topic as well. If you're interested, do join in as well. So scan the QR code. Now, I don't see any more questions already. So I guess that's the end of the webinar today. Thank you, Hui Qi, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your time with us. We see you at the next Amazon Live webinar. Thank you. Bye-bye.